There are questions that show up only when life hits hard. Not when things are calm, but when something inside you breaks in a way you did not approve or expect. Albert Camus knew that inner place too well. He grew from it, wrote from it, and never pretended it was pretty. Camus grew up surrounded by violence, not the grand type that becomes a historical chapter, but the small and constant violence that settles into the street, the schoolyard, the body, the air you breathe. French Algeria in the early 20th century was divided between the colonizers and the colonized. Camus was born in the middle of that fracture. Poverty, confusion, a missing father. His father died in World War I before Camus was old enough to remember his face, which left Camus with a world that never felt ordered or fair. Then came tuberculosis in his teenage years, a slow, cruel teacher. It stayed with him forever, reminding him every day that death is not an abstraction, but a neighbor. His lungs kept him from fighting in World War II, but did not keep him from seeing Europe crumble. He walked through ruined cities as a journalist for the resistance. He saw bodies, hunger, loss, and stubborn human dignity that refused to vanish. This is the real origin of the Camus we study today. Not a lonely academic in a quiet room. A man who walked through smoke, through rubble, through proof that human cruelty can shape continents. And after seeing all that, he posed the question that makes people uncomfortable. If the world has no built-in meaning, can a single life still matter? This was not theory for him. It was an honest confrontation with reality. People often try to file him under existentialism. The fit is sloppy. Existentialists claimed we are born as blank pages who write meaning through choice. Camus saw something else. He believed there is a shared human structure, a kind of minimum blueprint, a drive toward meaning that refuses to die, even when the universe stays silent. Modern psychology offers interesting support. Humans are the only species fully aware of their own death. That awareness creates a conflict. We want permanence, yet we know we will end. Neuroscience calls this an ontological dissonance. Psychologists call it existential anxiety. Camus called it the absurd. For Camus, we stand between two fixed points: our deep craving for purpose, orientation, and narrative, and a universe that does not offer any answers. These 2 points never meet. They belong to different languages. We ask why, and nothing replies. The absurd is born at the exact intersection between our desire and the universe's silence. This is not pessimism, it is clarity. In his most famous novel, The Stranger, Camus introduces Meursault, a man who refuses to pretend. He does not cry at his mother's funeral. He drifts into a petty crime. He reacts to life with a kind of quiet bluntness that feels almost mechanical. Meursault is not cruel. He is honest. Honest about a truth most people hide from themselves. Society punishes him not because he committed a crime, but because he refuses to follow the script. He will not act sad on command. He will not lie to comfort others. He will not pretend the world is something it is not. He becomes a threat, a mirror people want to smash. This is the question psychologists tread carefully around. In the myth of Sisyphus, Camus attacks it head-on. He says plainly that suicide is not a rational solution. Why? Because even in a universe without cosmic purpose, we can choose to give value to our own existence. This is the heart of his philosophy. Life does not need external meaning to be worth living. We can affirm life by living it. That is the revolt. Sisyphus is condemned to push a boulder up a mountain only to watch it fall again. An endless, pointless task. A perfect punishment. Yet Camus calls him a hero. Not because he wins, but because he keeps going. This might sound poetic, but modern science backs it up. Psychology shows that purpose is created through action, not words. Viktor Frankl, who survived the camps, wrote that meaning is built through struggle, through choosing one's stance. Evolutionary biology argues that persistence is the core engine of our survival as a species. Camus ends the essay with a line that hits like a hammer. We must imagine Sisyphus happy, because Sisyphus is free the moment he accepts the truth and chooses to continue anyway. Some thinkers of his time saw revolt as violence, swap power, flip the table. Camus rejected that. He argued that repeating the cycle turns the oppressed into the next oppressors. He saw revolt as a creative force, a declaration of dignity, a commitment to ethical action without illusions. This put him at odds with many intellectuals of his era, including Sartre. Camus did not care. He was not writing to impress the salons of Paris. He was writing to remain true. Just as he was entering a phase that explored love rather than revolt, Camus died in a sudden car crash. The event was so abrupt, so meaningless, that it felt like a practical joke from the universe he spent his life trying to understand. A cruel metaphor, a perfect one. Life does not warn. Life does not bargain. Life does not explain. Yet we keep living. We live in a time shaped by anxiety, loneliness, and pressure to find a purpose. Social media amplifies our doubts. The world feels more chaotic than ever. People feel lost, empty, overwhelmed. Camus answers with a brutal clarity. You do not need to understand the world to live in it. Life does not need a grand meaning to have value. This is not despair. This is liberation. Camus does not give us comfort. He gives us courage. Courage to push our stone. Courage to act even when the universe does not applaud. Courage to live without guarantees. In the end, Camus remains one of the most honest guides for modern life. He teaches us not to escape the absurd, but to live with it. And in that space, without cosmic explanations, we finally learn to speak for ourselves. There is a moment in life when the noise around us fades, and only one question remains. A quiet one. A dangerous one. What is the point of all this? Most people will never say it out loud. They carry it in silence, inside the spaces no one sees. You might have felt it too. That strange pressure in the chest when the world stops making sense, when the weight of existence feels heavier than it should. Camus called this collision the absurd, the clash between our hunger for meaning and a universe that refuses to answer. And here is the part we rarely admit. The silence can be terrifying. But the truth Camus offers is simple and strong. Life does not need a cosmic script for us to keep walking. We create meaning by choosing to live, by insisting on being here, by pushing our own stone, one step at a time. And maybe this is where real strength shows, not in grand victories, but in the quiet decision to continue, to breathe, to act, to try again tomorrow. If this message reached you today, know that you are not alone in the search. Everyone you meet carries a story they never fully tell. Everyone faces moments where meaning slips through their fingers. And yet, here we are, together, learning, questioning, moving. If this content speaks to you, if it brings clarity or even a sense of company in the chaos, then consider supporting the channel. Becoming a member helps me bring more depth, more research, more videos that treat these HIA questions with honesty. Members get early access, extra material, and a chance to help shape the next topics. And if you feel like offering something extra, the Super Thanks feature is a way to show appreciation. It helps more than you imagine. It keeps this space alive, growing, reaching people who might need these ideas just as much as you did. But listen closely. You do not owe me anything. By watching, by liking, by sharing, you are already helping in a way that matters. You are part of this community simply by being here. Still, If you choose to support, you are not just giving back. You are building something. You are helping this message travel further. You are becoming part of a circle that lifts others when they need it most. So thank you for your time, your attention, your presence. And if you feel called to go one step further, join as a member or use super thanks. Every gesture, big or small, helps this work continue, helps this community grow, helps these ideas reach someone at the exact moment they need them.